Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So we officially have a name. What is it, Miss Sydney?
Stitch Witchery.
Stitch Witchery.
But we also, it was very close. We're off by what, 3 or 4 votes?
3.
And we also really like Make It So. So I think what I have come up with is that we are going to be called Stitch Witchery, but Make It So is going to be kind of like our little tagline and our catchphrase, which means both of those people are going to get a gift card.
Plus, we like both of them a lot because Star Wars.
I know.
Star Trek. Woo, sorry. I have not had my coffee yet, and I was watching Star Wars.
It's over there. Good morning, Sue. We've got 17 tuned in already.
Good morning, guys.
So, just to let everyone know again, while everyone's popping on, 20 people watching now, we are officially, we won by 3 votes, Stitch Witchery, but we also love Make It So, and it was very, very close. So that's going to be our tagline and catchphrase.
Yes, it is. So we love it, you guys. Thank you for giving us some good names. All right, so today's episode, I gave a couple of spoilers. Some people figured it out, and I'm very proud of you for that.
A couple people I just told.
Yeah, I did too. We're easily bribed, guys. We're very easily bribed for chocolate. Just saying. So today's episode is all about placemats. Yay! So you'll see these panels all over the store, and these have a bad habit of ending up on the sale table. So I wanted to show you how easy it really is to go from this to these. Super simple. You don't have to put a lot of effort into them. It's a placemat, guys. It's not a huge thing. And of course, these are not bound. We didn't bind. We were bad. So we'll go over binding. But these are the 4 panels from this placemat panel, and right here, perfectly done. So we're gonna get, so this type of stitching is called sashiko stitching. And we are going to show you how that works today. So, placemats, very, very common, very easy Christmas gifts, very good, easy Hanukkah gifts, Kwanzaa gifts, Yule gifts.
Seasonal decorating. Change them every day.
These are so easy to make. They take a little, very, very, very little fabric, and they're adorable. Why wouldn't you want placemats? And they don't even have to be specifically for placemats. I have one in my bedroom that I keep all my makeup on so that it doesn't spread.
Same, actually.
It's containment. It works really great also. So my best friend has an autistic daughter, and I'm going to make her one because I think if she has a place to put her stuff and keep it within that sectioned off space, it's going to work really well. So, placemats is the name of the game today, guys. The very first one I made was from this Halloween collection because I love Halloween, and Halloween is coming up.
And you're a Stitch Witch.
I am. Speaking of Halloween, we have decided to move our Halloween video to next Wednesday because we got a lot going on next week. So.
Yep, and I'm going to post a picture with a full schedule for our videos next week because there are 3 planned for next week.
Yep, plus the random pop-up ones that happen when we get new fabric.
Exactly.
So, we got a schedule, guys. We're going to have to start doing that from now on,
I know.
think. So, first and foremost, with these guys, they are very simple to do. All you want to do, cut out 1/4 of an inch around, pick out your backing. I personally chose the spooky pumpkins.
They're all happy.
Why not? And literally, you just want to take a piece of batting, place your backing on it, flip it over, place your top on, and stitch. And always remember to make your backing bigger than your top because it is going to pucker in. So just be careful with that.
And nobody has said it yet, but I bet we're all wondering why we got border prints.
Yep. All right. So very obvious choice here of placemat panel. Now, border prints always, always, always get overlooked. And it's sad because look how adorable these placemats are. So super simple to do. You can make them in a variety of styles. These still have to be bound. They are going to be bound with black. And very easy to do.
And we'll be doing the binding part next Saturday because we didn't realize until this morning how long this video would be.
Yeah. So the key with placemats. Placemats can be any size that you want them to be. There is no set size. The panel placemats ended up measuring out to be, these guys are 12 inches by 17 inches. So pretty small, but great for a plate, your cup and a set of silverware.
And I imagine you can go a little bit smaller for little kids,
Yeah.
or a little bit bigger if you have a nice setting plate, whatever that's called.
Place setting?
No, the big plate under the regular plate.
Oh, charger.
Charger, thank you. Yeah, so you might want a bigger one if you use chargers.
So the key with this, so I have here a border print. This one is the Radiance Stripe from Benartex, one of my all-time favorite designs, just because I love how dense it is and how rich.
And a little bit of metallic.
Yep,
It's
metallic
beautiful.
definitely helps. So what you want to do when you look at your placemat is you want to figure out initially, okay, what sort of design do I want? How wide do I want these? I'm a sucker for doing 12 to 14 inches just because that's enough for a plate, a glass, and your silverware, and that's really all you need. Now, if you're going to be doing a more formal setting with a charger, you are going to have to go a little larger. So keep that in mind. That is completely up to you. The next step you want to do when you are looking at your placemats, potentially, is you want to find the spots that you really want to include. So on this initial cut, you can see I went through and actually pulled directly that part. So I looked through and I was like, oh, I really like that. But you also want to open up the full stripe and see what you have.
How much you can get, because I think it would be easy to go from, where's my hand? The black there all the way, instead of to here, down to here, just to extend it a little bit and get that paisley in there.
So you can really make this your own personal style. You can make it your own width. You can make it in your own stripe.
Ooh, in fact, it would be fun to do, like, follow the scalloped edge of that on one edge of it.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
So be creative.
You can definitely be creative. That's the whole point behind this, guys. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to make another one of these guys. When you get these placemats, I want you to start thinking of them as quilting practice pieces as well. People all the time are like, oh, I need something to practice my quilting on, but I don't want to waste a lot of money. Placemats! Who doesn't use a placemat? And they're easy gifts. So what we're going to do today is we're going to cut up this piece into some more placemats. Now, depending on your size, depends on how many placemats you can get. Because I do the 12-inch width, I can get at least 3 out of a cut. People who are doing larger, unfortunately, you're probably only going to get 2.
And that's out of per half yard.
Yep.
Also depends on the size of the print itself and the repeat of it.
Exactly. So, good choices there. Let me see. I think I have a good sale one right here that would work.
Ooh, yeah. I like that. And you can see that's a little bit smaller of a border print, so it would be easy to use 2 repeats of that stripe.
Very easily. So you could easily go from here to here, or if you want to, you could go from there to here. So it really depends on the stripe and how wide you want to make it. I generally do mine 18 inches in width by about 12 inches deep. And that seems to work out well in my favor.
Pretty standard, yeah.
Yep. So just play with it. Find what makes you happy. So the first thing you want to do is you want to line up your piece. And you'll notice that I don't use the measurements on the cutting mat more than anything. I use the ruler. So you want to get rid of that selvage, because selvage is no bueno. So we just come in here, line up, make sure I've got all the icky selvage, chop her off.
And I just came around so I didn't have a glare on the ruler.
You're good. And then now I'm going to actually use my cutting mat. So I want to come over here, flop out my piece. Now you notice I did leave some of that white on the edge. That is my kind of seam allowance. That's going to get hidden in, so I'm not too worried about that at all. So I want to find my 12-inch mark, which is going to put it right at this black line. It's going to be hair over. Guys, if it's a hair over or hair under, it doesn't matter. It's a placemat.
No one's measuring it at dinner.
Exactly. And if they are, then you just tell them that they have to eat dinner in their bedroom. Which was honestly not a punishment. Let's be honest here. But you just come over here and you want to find your spot. Line up your ruler and zoom. So I've got my first mat. So now I come over here and now I make a executive decision. Do I want to include this row of florals, or do I want to skip the row of florals initially, start with my scalloped edge and go to the next scalloped edge? That is where the decision-making process is going to come in at. So I can come over here, and it's actually going to be 13 inches at this point if I were to take it right there, which I think I will do.
Yeah, just to have one to show that. And you're cutting off that row of floral. We've had a couple ideas what to do with that scrap, and I kind of just want to hold on to it and do that video in 3 weeks or so.
Okay, sounds good to me.
So guys, if you're cutting off some pieces of your stripes like she's about to, save those. And we will do something else fun with them. Got 2 ideas, one for a personal accessory and one for a dinner table accessory.
Exactly. So I'm just going to come in here, chop that off. I've now got a really cute row of florals
that we're going to hold on to
match this row of florals. So we're just going to place these over here, and we'll hold on to those guys. Guys, I think we were already going to hit that point where we have to do these videos every week because the ideas are coming faster than we can keep up. So the next part is I want to come over here. So the next line is going to be right at the 13-inch mark. That's fine. I can trim my placemats down to all be the same size when this is done.
I like that. And then you can have them match or slightly different. I kind of like that they're going to be the same size, but the print's captured a little different.
Exactly. That way you have to look at something different. And because of the fact that I do the 12-inch mats, notice I was able to get 3 full cuts plus an extra strip. And I'm just going to come all the way down here to the black and slicey slice. So now I have all of my pieces cut. So from 1/2 yard, I was able to get 3 placemats. So double it up. If you want 6, go to 1 yard. If you want more, go up as need be. If you want to adjust the sizing, that's fine too. And these are actually kind of cool because you can totally customize them also. And this is all just a standard border print. Like I would come in here with a gold thread and embroider someone's name on it in a heartbeat.
Oh, that would be so pretty.
And these make great, great gifts. So easy way to do it.
Love it.
And the poor border print gets forgotten a lot. So the next step on these guys is actually really, really simple. So what we're going to do, I already have one cut out.
This is like a cooking show. I love it.
It is exactly like a cooking show. So what I want to do now is I have my piece of batting and I already have my backing laid on top. Always put your batting down first, then your backing. If you're using any spray adhesive, 100% use 505 only. Don't use June Taylor, don't use Dritz, don't use any of the others. They are so full of formaldehyde, we actually have a shop ban. Only 505 is allowed in here.
And those other ones also will gum up your needles really bad.
Yes,
I've never had that problem with 505.
Exactly. So once I've got my back on, I want to flip this over. And if you have a random string, remove it. We all do. That's just the part of quilting. And you want to place your mat on top. And in order to guarantee, you can lift up and kind of see, you can't really see it on camera, but you can hold it up to the light and easily see exactly where your mat is.
And know that the whole thing is backed.
Yep. Good thing I saw that one. I did that. That's the other reason you want to do that. You want to double check, make sure there's only one layer there.
Do you have 505s back here?
I do not. That was bad.
We were almost prepared.
Guys, the day we are fully prepared is a scary day.
Especially if we're going to start doing this weekly.
So I saw that I needed to move this down just a little bit since I repositioned it. So now I can 505 it down. Or, yes.
Haha, my secret drawer.
The secret stash. Okay, so 505 is amazing. Pull this over halfway. And you want to give it a good spray. You don't want to cheap and done. And that is a topic of much debate, but I am on team give it a good spray.
Yeah, don't be afraid of it.
It's not going to hurt you. And I've had severe asthmatics use this stuff. I've had pregnant women use it. All the fun stuff.
You know how weird I am. I have literally been in quilting groups on Facebook just preaching about how great 505 is.
Yes, we are on quilting groups on Facebook, so. All right, and you just want to lift and pat. Remember, pat the bunny. And if you know what that book is, you get bonus points.
Of course I do.
Pat the Bunny is the best book ever. Except for Stella Luna, which we found out that Sydney's never read. And it's about bats. How is that possible?
I don't know. They must have just not had it at my elementary library.
Ugh, you had a deprived childhood. I'm gonna find the LeVar Burton one where he reads it to you in Reading Rainbow, which, by the way, is the best show ever.
I did watch that at school. I guess I just missed that episode.
So now that I have my piece all set up, we're gonna go over and we're gonna go sew down some stitching. So for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and show you some of the stitching I've already done. I'm going to emphasize that I am not a free motion person by any means. So these are great ways to practice your free motion stitching, get your speed right. So this one I just did some basic loop-the-loops.
And what's
horrible.
the quote about riding by on a horse?
Yeah, if you can't tell it by riding by on a horse at 50 miles an hour, it's fine.
Exactly. And these look perfect to me.
So you can do some loop-the-loops, you can do some squiggles.
And it is really, really good practice for someone that wants to be able to quilt their own quilts but needs something smaller to practice on.
And it's easier to grip onto, so it's a great way to start. So for this one, instead of doing traditional quilting, which I'll do on another one, we're going to go over to our Sashiko. So come with me.
Yay! And this is one of our favorite machines. It's definitely my favorite specialty machine.
Oh, 100% agree on that one.
I know a lot of people have heard me talk about the Sashiko a lot, and I have taught classes on this machine before as well to folks that bought it here.
Oh, yeah. So this is the Baby Lock Sashiko. The Sashiko is a stitch. It's a Japanese stitch, and this is the only thing that this machine does is one stitch, and it only uses bobbin thread, no upper thread. So I know a lot of people are going, how? So you're gonna see. So we do have this one. This particular unit is a pre-loved unit. It is $19.99, normally $25.99,
$24.99
or $24.99. So if you want it after watching this video, the first person that gets me money gets it.
Yep, so we have one pre-loved Sashiko for $19.99, and I have a feeling it's going to go quick.
Yes, it is, because we have no clue when we're going to be able to get a regular new one in. So the first thing you want to do is you want to do a long hold on this, so I can open up my bobbin case door, and it has a traditional bobbin. And I'm just going to quilt this in white because white's a very forgiving color. And you can see the orange where I'd already quilted the others. So we're going to pop our bobbin in, go up. Ooh, I've got a clean cut on this. That's nice.
Yay.
Want about a foot of thread to play with. Then that goes back in.
Anyone that is seeing threading of the Sashiko for the first time, it's going to look crazy. It's going to look intimidating. If you ever buy one, we will teach you how it works.
It's not that bad.
Very, very cool machine. Again, you're only going to be sewing with bobbin thread.
Okay. Yay. Cut.
And I'm going to get kind of down in your business here.
That's fine. Okay. So I want to do a fairly moderate stitch length and width, so I can change out my stitch length here and the spacing between. So I'm going to do that to start with. And when it comes to quilting your placemats, initially I always do a rectangle around the project so that it's down, and then I just kind of pick some lines to follow. So we'll do that real quick.
Just kind of echo your patterns. Go around the edge of the flowers in the white. That'd be pretty.
Yes, it would.
And it is a very loud machine. It is supposed to sound that clunky.
Yes, it is.
And can I just get like a close-up slow stitch so everyone can see how it's such an interesting machine. It has a hooked needle, and then it has a stitch finger that pulls the stitch back on itself so that you're only needing the bobbin thread.
Which is awesome, guys.
I love this machine so much.
Yeah, same.
And you could have had that in needle stop down, but
that is the stitch.
Beautiful. And it looks like a hand stitch, but it's much faster, much more precise.
And then this is what the back looks like.
Yep, straight stitch.
So as Miss Sid was saying, I can now hold that. Yep, and it will stop with the needle in the down position for me. It'll be great for corners.
Exactly.
And I'm not worried if my quilting goes awry a little bit, guys.
I was going to say my number one rule about quilting really is just go for it. Unless it's an heirloom, just don't be afraid to go for it.
Because everything in life is fixable. That really is a good rule to live by. Everything in life is fixable. And then if you get excited like me, it's okay. Because you can just pop right on back over where you need to be. The binding's going to cover all my outer mistakes, so I'm not worried about it in the slightest.
I'm getting a little lumpy lump.
I'm fine with that too. It's a placemat.
Yeah.
And then I want to turn this towards me. Yeah, I know. I'm getting the death glare here.
Yeah, you are. That was wrong.
Don't follow all my rules, guys. So now we're going to go in and creatively follow some of these florals.
I hope it picks up the stitch.
It will, kind of.
You can change the needle stop up now, though, and that might help you. Okay.
And one thing I will tell you guys is the samples are always going to be here in store for a while. So if you want to see this up close and personal, come on in.
And we love our Sashiko dearly, but bear in mind you clearly don't have to have this machine to do this. We did do some free motion quilting on our other ones.
I lost my thread.
Yeah, because you hand wheeled.
I know. Guys, follow what Sydney says, not what I do. She'll put you in the right, guys.
This is 2020. We do not touch our hand wheels unless the machine jams, period. Sorry, it's true.
She's true.
This is why.
But you know what? This is a very easy machine to rethread, so I'm not really worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just got to get me a nice clean.
And proof, even we oopsie.
Oh, we totally oopsie. I will tell you every time I oopsie. It's fairly frequently.
All right, and it's only 9:36, so we're not in a rush. We've got 42 people watching.
Hey guys.
Just want to repeat in our voting for our name, Stitch Witchery won. So this show is now called Stitch Witchery. But Make It So was behind by only 3 votes, and we really love Make It So. So we're also going to use that as our tagline and catchphrase because it's a lot of fun and we love it.
Yes, we do.
And also, these placemats will be bound on the edges when they're completed. We are going to do a binding video next Saturday morning. I think at 9:30. That'll be plenty of time.
Okay, so from here, we're going to go back in and start sewing. And I'm going to start a debate here. Kirk versus Picard. There's only one winner.
Oh, we'll see if anyone answers that before we give away the right answer.
I think we actually have different answers. So
we
this will be
do.
interesting.
I'm a Kirk girl.
I'm Picard.
Yeah. I like old Star Trek better. But DS9 and the timeline, like the story of the Cardassians, that'll always be my favorite. My favorite Star Trek ever.
I'm going to get so much hate for this, but I absolutely adore the new movies with Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm. No, Mina said Picard too.
So
you got
good.
1 vote.
Yay, Mina.
I just grew up watching the old Star Trek with my dad.
I grew up on Picard, so.
I've only seen one of the newer movies, and it was the first one that came out like 10 years ago.
It was so good. And then Khan, I mean, we all know I love Benedict Cumberbatch, so.
Okay, Picard's winning.
I mean, I can respect Picard.
And we've got someone asking about the Sashiko. So the Sashiko, I believe MSRP is $29.99. We sell them for $24.99. This one specifically is a pre-loved machine, and it is $19.99. First one that claims it gets it. And I have 1 vote for Captain Kirk.
I love me some Kirk, but I love Picard. There's just something elegant about that man.
All right, so let's see a close-up of that.
So I did shorten down the length big time.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see.
And so it still looks like a hand stitch, but you can see how different you can make the spacing of those stitches.
Based off of how fast I pull versus if I let the machine do it.
Mm-hmm. And adjusting these, of
this
course.
Effect just because it really makes it look like you really did go in and hand stitch it, which is really nice.
And most people will never know.
Exactly. That being said, there are a couple more different ones, so back to the cutting board. Now, a lot of people are like, okay, that's cool and all. You've got your border print. You make some really cool placemats. I generally always bind in black just because it's a good binding.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of creates a photo frame effect. So keep in mind, you can use panels with that. If you've got a panel you don't mind chopping up a really pretty big print. Or, one other thing, I have a lot of fabric left around from a quilt block I was doing. So I absolutely adore this print. I am ready for fall. I am ready for cold. I am ready for this.
Amen. And we're going to get snow this year.
Yes, we are, or else. So this is a 12.5-inch block already made. So what I want to do next is I can come in here and start playing around and enjoying myself just by designing. I know my general parameters should be 12 by 18 to 12 by 16, depending on your personal preference.
Also, it looks like I'm going to have to do a video just on the Sashiko.
Oh yeah, Sashiko will need a video.
We got some questions. Is it just for quilting? So it does do just the one Sashiko stitch, but you can use it for quilting, piecing, binding, and it's also really, really cool and great to use for couching and weaving.
Yes, it is. The weaving is fun.
I love it.
So one thing you can come in here and do once you're done is you can come in and say, okay, I want this on this side, a border of a brown. You know your general parameters. You can just come in here and play and really find what makes you happiest. You have an extra 12.5-inch block from a quilt project laying around that you don't know what you're going to do with. Pop it in the center of a square. Robin's block of the month this year. Those are 6.5-inch blocks each. Put 4 of them together. You got a 12.5-inch block. So the possibilities are really endless when it comes to placemats. You've just got to be creative. A great starting point is that border print, because the border print is going to give you the creativity for quilting. It's going to give you the great section where you can start. Like, I can very easily take said border print, come here, and I can cut this down again. If I only wanted that flow vine right there in one of them, I could very easily come in
and piece that in.
And piece it in here. And then add that on.
See, and that's stunning.
Look how beautiful that turns out. And it's extra piece. So the vines are there. The pieces are there. You just got to get creative with it, guys. There is no wrong answer when it comes to quilting. So free motion is a good option for these guys. Sashiko quilting, what have you. This is great quilting practice. This is a great time to really just enjoy yourself. And the border prints are very, very easy to do.
Very versatile.
And if you don't want to go through all the stress, panel. You can't go wrong with panel.
Yep, I know for sure that we have Halloween, fall, and Christmas placemat panels right now.
A lot of Christmas panels. So that is pretty much what we wanted to show you guys today, is think differently with your border prints. Because what's to say you don't just continue this strip on for another couple of lengths and you've got a table runner.
I was about to say, if you're buying like 2 yards of this and you're making a big one, you can have 4, 6, 8 placemats, and then the leftover strip from the middle can be a matching table runner down the center. Like, I love skinny table runners that are just big enough for some candles.
Like something like that.
Exactly. Love it.
So the possibility is out there. Don't discount the border print. It is a great, great, great piece to work with. Everyone's always like, oh no, you only can use it for borders. Nope, you can use it for pretty much everything. And you can even cut it up and turn it into blocks. So don't discount your border prints, guys. They are your friends. Let's see. So that's pretty much everything we're going to go over today. So the schedule for next week is going to be real fun. We're going to post it online. So Monday we will be closed for the holiday.
And closed anyway.
Yeah, we're closed anyway, but specifically for the holiday this time. Let's see. Tuesday, I don't think we have anything planned for Tuesday.
Wednesday, we're going to do how we did a tour of our Christmas fabric. We're going to do a tour of our autumn and Halloween fabric.
Yay. Excited for that.
Nothing planned for Thursday. Friday next week is block of the month. I believe Robin does those videos at 1. I'll confirm that with her before I make a visual. And then next Saturday, we are going to do a video on binding.
Because we got a lot of placemats here that need to be bound, and binding takes a fair amount of time. So personally, I absolutely abhor binding with a passion, so I'll show you an alternative to binding during that video, and Sydney will show you how to bind, which means I'll be behind the camera. Sydney, you're going to have to be super cute on camera. So, and then that's pretty much everything for this week. Today is the last day of the sale. Come see us, guys. We were surprisingly not as busy as I expected it to be. We only had to put up the sign 1 time.
Knock on wood.
So come on in, come get some $5 fabric. As you saw, there's some border prints on here. There's a lot of really good options on here.
Definitely.
So, and the theme behind the series is simple, easy gifts. And unfortunately, I was planning on going to every week once we got closer to Thanksgiving. It looks like we're going to go every week sooner.
Maybe now.
Because we've already hit 1,000,002 ideas and we're running out of time. So, you guys are going to get us a lot more.
All right, lots of quick, easy projects like this that impress people without taking a ton of time.
Exactly, and a ton of material.
Exactly.
That's the key too. All right, guys. Well, have a good weekend. Happy Labor Day. Stay safe, and from the Stitch Wishes,
Make it so. Bye.